Hi, good afternoon, Facebook family. It's Mimo. Well, I'm calling to give an update on my update. Effective today, my mom's aide that she had for 4 months, who took very good care of my mom, was told to leave this morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Being the aide that she is, she didn't leave at 8 a.m. sharp. She did stay to train a new aide. So, my mom once again has a new aide who has no experience whatsoever. But my mom's aide that she had for 4 months, Annie, stayed all the way up until almost close to 10 o'clock just showing this young lady what to do, which was to no avail. The young lady that's in my house now, she's 25 years old. She has little to no experience from what I can see. And from the time Annie left this morning, my mom, Annie fed my mom, bathed my mom, changed my mom's linen, etc., did everything that she does on a regular basis. While the new aide stood there and observed everything. She not one time said, "Let me give you a hand," or "Let me throw that chug in the garbage." She just stood there with her coat on from the street in my mother's room. She didn't have a uniform on. She didn't have her ID tag on. So, when she first came in, she said her name was Patricia. That's all I knew about her. Anyway, just to jump a little further ahead so I don't spend so much time on this video, the young lady was there, as I said, and Annie fed my mom and did everything for her, gave my mom breakfast, and that was around 8:30 this morning. Well, I left the house a few hours later, and I went out to do what I had to do today. And as I observed the video in the house, the aide is sitting in there in the house on her cell phone. So, before I left there, I told her, do me a favor. This is a new case for you and everything. I need you to not be on your phone talking to friends, husbands, boyfriends, children, or whatever. It's an extreme emergency. But that was to no avail. Every time I looked at the video and saw her on her phone, it was always she's talking to the agency. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I find it hard to believe that you're on your cell phone with the phone on your ear and you're laid back like this on a chair talking to an agency like that, especially when you're in a situation where the patient's family member recognizes that you're incapable of doing anything and have addressed several issues with you already this morning. So with that being said, I told her, if she's going to be on her cell phone, I hope she has a self-charger. Because I find that these ladies come into your home and right away they find a plug, a socket to charge their phone so they can be on the phone all day chit-chatting and neglecting the patient. Okay, so I did call the agency several times this morning. I began calling them like 8:45 or a little after 9, I think it might have been. And, I told them, I said I had, valid issues with this new aide that's here. First of all, she didn't want to acknowledge me at all. I was talking to her and she just walked right by me. As you'll see in one of the videos, I talked to her and she just walks by. And so, long story short, I ran out to do what I had to do today. And as I looked at the video, it's getting close to like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I observed my mom just laying in the bed, the same position that Annie left her in this morning. And I noticed that my mom is not eating. Now, she normally has her lunch every day between the hours of 12 and 1. So I called the young lady at home, Miss Patricia, and I said, "Miss Patricia, are you going to feed my mom?" She said, "I tried, but she don't want it." So I'm looking at the tray sitting on the table. And obviously the tray is cold. Whatever's in that tray, it's cold now. So I watched as the time went by, another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, hour, half an hour. And I see my mother's laying in the bed with her eyes open. And this young lady still has not fed my mother. So I call her again. This time I talked to her over the speaker because she wouldn't answer the phone. So I said, "Miss Patricia, do you plan on giving my mother something to eat?" I mean, she hadn't had anything to eat, let's just say, since 9 o'clock this morning. It's now like 2:30 in the afternoon. She gets quiet on the phone. I said she has to eat. You got to give her breakfast, her lunch, and her dinner. No response. So I dash home, and what do I find? My mom's in the bed, her pampers hanging halfway off of her. This young lady is struggling to change her pamper. And I got home around 3:23. Now, mind you, my mom still hasn't had anything to eat. And she's laying in a soiled diaper with feces now. Well, I asked her if she's going to change my mom. She begins to try to change her, but not to mention that when I walked in, she had already made that attempt, if I could see, obviously, because she had about 1,000 chugs on the floor. She's just wasting chugs, wasting chugs, wasting chugs. God only knows what she's using the chugs for. So as the time goes by, I'm still observing. Excuse me. It's now getting close to 4 o'clock, and still she's struggling just to change her adult diaper. But these people are the people that they send to my house and say they have experience. They tell, oh, she has experience, years of experience. She's only 25. So I'm trying to figure out how many years of experience does she have exactly. But clearly from what you will observe from the video, she has little to none. And my patience was just at the point of being totally short. Because all I see right now is my mother being neglected because I have an unexperienced aide in the house trying to care for my mom, and she doesn't have a clue as to what she's doing. But the agency will lead everyone to believe that it's the daughter. It's the daughter. Well, it's the daughter when it comes down to the daughter checking the aides. Oh, I'm going to check them because this is not what my mother is supposed to have to endure. Her constantly laying there. I mean, look how many hours she laid there before this woman actually got up and started changing her. This is from the time Annie left this morning, gave this lady her breakfast, washed her up, put her in a clean bed. And this young lady sat there, observed everything, and did absolutely nothing afterwards. She didn't even give my mother a drink of water. I watched it on the video. She didn't hand her a cup of water, nothing. She just sat there in the chair, and again, on her cell phone. As soon as I walked out the house, and after I had the conversation with her about being on the cell phone, as soon as I left my house, I looked at the video, and guess what? She got right on her cell phone. She told me she was calling the agency, and I said, oh, you were talking to the agency? She said, yes. I said, well, give me the name of the person you were talking to. Oh, it was a recording. You were laid back on the phone, like this on your phone, swinging in a chair with a recording. I'm to the point now where I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to call it like I see it. This young lady is a liar. She's not an honest person, and they put these people in my home. And when I have people like that will lie about little minute things, those are the ones that normally rob me. And I'm tired of this. Granted, my mother's not a multi-millionaire, but you know what? At the end of the day, she still deserves the care that the city and the state is paying for. They're not paying for these young ladies to come there and be in my apartment sitting on their cell phones talking to their husbands and boyfriends. And this young lady, the training that Annie stayed extra hours to do, and she didn't have to because no one was paying her. She stayed past her time to train this young lady, and this young lady learned nothing. So, with that being said, after I came home, I rushed home after I see my mother hasn't eaten and so on. You know what? I go in my kitchen. I'm upset, so I'm mumbling to myself. I said, this is ridiculous. This is a bunch of nonsense. Then the young lady has the audacity to tell me that she's not trained. She tells me she's not trained, and then when she sees me pull my phone camera out, and I said, oh, let's repeat this. You're not trained. She tells me, oh, I didn't say nothing. But the other video camera has you caught you saying it. That's when she becomes a liar. So, it's not my job to make these women's life difficult. My job is to make sure my mother's going to be cared by someone with experience and the skills to care for her. My mom walks very slowly, but she walks. These women coming in here, they're trying to lift her like a baby. And if they're not doing that, they're dropping her on the floor. How much more is going to have to happen to this woman before New York City, the state of New York, the city of New York, take a look at what they're paying for? Now, if with all the footage I've had on YouTube so far doesn't ring a bell anywhere, then I can clearly, the only thing I can believe, excuse me, that's my asthma. The only thing that I can believe at this point is that the New York City state for long-term care and the city of New York is saying, We don't give a damn about the elderly. We don't care if these women come in there and drop them on the floor. We don't care if they laying in their feces and getting bed sores. We just don't care because they're old and we just don't give a damn about them because they mean nothing. Well, I beg to differ because that lady in there is one of the people that was out here in March for us to have equal rights. That lady up there is the one who went out here and put in her time to work. That lady up there is the woman who raised a child by herself. Okay? So, for the city and the state to continue and let this go on after I've made several complaints, and you send me letters telling me that you found that certain agencies were in violation of Code 10, and you do nothing afterwards, and the letter clearly says, they were talked to. Nonsense. Nonsense. That's not sufficient. Because clearly, as you can see now, from the footage I'm going to show you, we have another case of the same thing. We have an aide in here who has no clue on how to care for a person with Alzheimer's. She has no clue even how to change an adult diaper. She doesn't have any common sense to know. I've been with this lady since 8:30 this morning, and I haven't seen her have a drink of water. And it's 4-something in the afternoon. Is this what the city and state is paying for? Is this what you guys are paying for? Home health care agencies and their aides that they send out that have no skills. Is this what you're paying for? Well, if this is the case, I really think that someone should at the very least, start looking into who's paying for these services. Is it the taxpayers paying for it? Who's paying for these services? It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. I would like to be able to go to my job and sit down and just act as though I don't know how to do anything. Especially if I go in there and say, I have 5 years or 10 years experience, and then I go in there and they put me in a position where I'm supposed to have experience, and I sit there and go, I don't know. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. Who does this? When is this going to end? Are you waiting for Miss Davis to die? Does it take a patient having to be hurt? I really don't know. Because at this point, with my mom being dropped on the floor, who knows? Hopefully when she goes to her doctor Monday, there is no inside bruises or anything. But you know what? That agency that did that or allowed that to happen, you know what they did? They decided, we're not going to service the case anymore. We dropped her on the floor. Let's just get rid of the case. That's not going to get rid of it. I know I mentioned this before, but I just want to reiterate that. That's not going to get rid of what happened. It still occurred. Someone has to answer for it. Someone has to. So with that being said, I'm sitting in my car outside my apartment because I couldn't stand upstairs another minute and watch this woman torment my mother. You'll clearly see I got so angry about the whole situation, but I still maintain my cool to the best of my ability because that's my mom. I'm watching my mom be handled by someone with no experience. Once again, I'm just letting everyone know, look after your loved ones. If you love your family, if you love your elderly, watch over them. If they're having home health care service, or even if they're having service in a nursing home, watch over and check in on your loved ones. Because before you know it, they'll be gone. And the report will stay natural causes. It don't necessarily have to be. Watch how these people are handling your loved ones. Stand up, say something. If you see something wrong, say something. Go to the administration. Go to your council members, whatever you have to do. Let it be known. Watch this footage of what I've been going through today only. And this young lady came here today. But she came in with an attitude like she had experience. But watch how much experience she has. I'll see you guys later. Bye.